What can I help you with?
Alright. We want to have Susan get her training a little bit more here.
Okay.
So we're trying to get it up on her computer as well. And she needs to know basically how to check people in, how to accept payment. Oh yeah, how do we bring a photo into the patient's record?
Okay.
We're going to take a picture of everybody and have that on there.
Right.
Oh.
Well, let me run you through all the stuff that I think she could be doing, and then we can answer questions after that. How's that sound?
Good.
Okay. So when a new patient shows up, you probably got some paperwork for them to fill out, and that'll probably be on a clipboard, correct?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things you can or could add to your protocols is after the paperwork's turned in, part of your orientation is to introduce them to how the office works. And so what you can do is actually walk them to the kiosk and actually enter their information in front of them. And show them that it's nothing to be afraid of. It's very simple. And you're also doing another thing at the same time. You're verifying their information. And you're making sure that if they didn't put an email on their paperwork, you can actually put it in here. Now, there's only 3 fields that are mandatory by the database. It's first name, last name, and phone number. Everything else can be left blank if you want it to be. Okay? Now, what happens here is you talk it over. It's like, okay, make sure all this is correct. Oh, I forgot a space there. Now, when I hit save, it does 2 things. First of all, it enters them into the database, so that while they're back seeing you, she can do stuff on the other end. And it does that second thing and actually checks them into the system. So that's one way to do it. That's what I found easiest for me. It may not be the easiest for you guys, but it is something to consider. And then just being aware of how the kiosk works. You know, when they need to check in, they click check in. They start typing their name, either last name or first name. Works either way. And when they check in, they're ready to sit down. Now, it doesn't work if they do this. Okay, it's got to be just one or the other.
Oh,
okay. So just start typing in, tell them 3 or 4 characters, and then wait. And it'll find who it is, allow them to check in. If they're part of the family, that family will show up. I'll show you here in just a second. If they're part of the family shows up. They can, if everybody's here with them, they can just select all if they need to uncheck or recheck or whatever. That way they can check in everybody with them. That way mom with triplets doesn't have to type in all 4 of their names to be checked.
got it.
Okay? Any questions on that so far? I'm sorry?
Did you do that?
I heard her.
How does Peter Kyle know they're a mammal?
I'll show you that on the client maintenance page. That's where you're going to put in photos. That's where you're going to attach documents. And that's where you're going to create family associations. Okay? So we'll go there next. So that's the kiosk. Just be aware that if you're using a computer for everything else, and you put this in kiosk mode, you have to close down all of your tabs for that browser and then relog back in to do anything else. If you have to use the same computer, go ahead.
Our kiosk is totally.
Okay, so just be careful because on the modules, kiosk is right here in our admin. If you click kiosk, you do have to close down everything to restart it back up. Administration is what you were asking about before. So if we go into administration and go down to client maintenance, you see where we're at?
Yeah.
Good. Now we can just go on the list here and find them, or we can actually go to do the name search again, and this is where we can edit their information. This is all their demographics that we typed in. This is where we can choose another file for their picture. Let's do this real quick. Let me get one that doesn't have a picture. Let's do Ryan, Colorado. So we choose a file. It opens up our folder list. You're probably going to take pictures and store them on your desktop or someplace. You just need to know where that's at. Let me just get some pictures here. People.
I was wondering if it would be easiest to take the picture right at the kiosk. We've got a tablet there that we can take pictures very easily with, have it set up on there.
Yeah, actually you can. But you'd have to be in this area right now to add that file to the folder. The other way
that would have to be done at lunch break in the evenings and stuff.
Or if you had a tablet or even a phone, you could come to this area when you choose file. It'll allow you to choose your camera, and you can add it that way.
Okay.
Does that make sense? No?
You can log in with the phone to this area. Picture in the phone and choose camera. Okay.
Okay, that tablet or phone both should work. We just don't have it built into for the desktops. It's automatic on the phones and tablets. So when you do this, you do have to save it before you go to any of this other information. So now that Ryan, Colorado is Chuck Norris, we can go back here and edit any of the other information we need to. Now, family members, this is where you would add family members or connect family members. Go to add family members, and let's do, who are we going to add? Let's do Josie Whalen. So now Josie and Ryan are in the same family now, according to the computer. We allow you guys to create the family memberships, but to disassociate a family, let's say Josie is a daughter and she goes away to college and gets married, so she's no longer in Ryan's family according for your purposes. You have to let us know who's leaving the family in it, so we can massage the data in the database. There's certain tags and ID numbers we have to do manually to disassociate a family. Okay? Alright, so that's where that happens. Click Save. Go back down to Ryan. And this is the personal information. This is the stuff that shows up on every visit that needs to be remembered, but it's not necessarily part of the notes every day. So, say doesn't like face paper at all. So it doesn't need to be in the patient's record, but it's something you might need to know when they come in the room. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Let's save that. Now, if we need to add the paperwork for Ryan, that's over here. So we click on this folder icon, and this is our upload documents area. So the file we're going to upload is, let's do an x-ray of Nikola Tesla. Let's say this x-ray was last year, so 07/10/2016. Now the reason you don't want to use today's date is because that's not the date of the file, or the paperwork or whatever you're adding. When you click upload, it attaches it to their file here. Same thing as if we had new patient paperwork. Where's that? Too many. Here we go. Where's it at? Let's say we had their informed consent, and that was done yesterday. Put in the date of the document, and we choose the, we did it already. Informed consent, good. Then when we upload it, it adds it to the list in the database. Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
So we just click the file area on the patient when we're in the client maintenance.
Yes.
And then ask it to upload something.
Right.
And then we choose what we want to upload.
Right. Unfortunately, the documents that are attached here, the only way you can actually see them is actually also to come to this area, and then you have to download them to look at them. We're working on that a different way for the next version, but right now that's the way we have to do it.
Alright, so what do we do as far as uploading their intake information? Do we have to scan that through with a printer or something in order to have a file to upload, or what?
Yeah, what I did and do in my office is I have actual paper for the intake form. Then I take my interview notes and my exam notes on the back, and then I enter that information in the visit, the information I gathered from the interview and exam, into the visit notes, but then I scan in the front and back of those papers and attach them here. Now when I scan them in, it creates a file on the local machine that's scanning it, and I actually store those in a secured folder on that machine. And I keep them there even though I've uploaded them pure Cairo notes. Did that make sense at all?
Alright, so you create the scan, and you put it into a specific folder on your computer.
Right.
And then you upload it from that folder, but you keep the backup on the computer as well.
Right. And so what you could do is, like, I can right click this, and I can I don't have a click right here, but there's a way to lock that with the security, with the password, so that nobody can get in that with that folder without a password. And then here you have your patient information.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Good. And then that's where I would keep the local copies. And then for me, I don't like paper, heat paper. So once I verify it's on the secure drive and I verify that it's been uploaded to Pre-Cover Notes, I shred the paper. That's for me. You guys have to look at your state laws to see if you can do that.
We're gonna probably just have a folder on each patient and
Okay.
stuff it in there for the time.
Okay. That's in Indiana and South Carolina, the law says the original or the closest facsimile of the original. And if I shred it, then the scanned copy becomes the closest to the original. So that allows me to do that. Okay. So, is there anything else on a patient, taking care of patient data that I need to go over?
No.
Okay. The other thing that you asked about was money. In the payment queue, if somebody hasn't paid, they should show up here. Since we don't have anybody like that, let's go and create somebody like that. So Bethany Millerson, she's new today. You're going to take her notes. Create a plan.
You just type all that, or you got some hotkeys that you use?
I have it saved in a Word document just for demo purposes.
Oh.
Yeah, I type pretty fast, but not that fast. Pretty fast, but not that fast. So you know, we're just gonna
creating the note.
Yeah, so we're creating the note now.
Touch, you know, all I've got to do is touch the subluxation.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So record payment now, and once this is done, if you end session and there's nothing over here, it should put her into the payment queue, which it didn't. Dang it! What is going on?
You generally have them pay on the way in or the way out?
I have most of my patients on auto draft, so I just do it that way. Usually people are paying or telling me they're going to pay it. I do it right there at the interaction. I don't know why that didn't record. I have to check into that. Let's get her checked in again. Let's get the Sonia water bottle here. Now she has 10 visits, so that doesn't count. She's not due until February 3rd, so that doesn't count. Ay, ay, ay. She has 29 visits. Trying to find somebody who doesn't have stuff.
Do you have most of your people prepaid?
Yeah, prepay and on recurring.
So they're on like a wellness plan and they just, so much a month comes out of their checking in.
Yep, absolutely. Oh my goodness, all my people are current. That's not good. Actually, it is good. Just doesn't help me trying to show you what it looks like. Oh my goodness. I need to check in why that's not working. I apologize for that. It is big worries, because if it's not working in a demo, it's not working in real life. And that's not good for you guys. So why is this not allowing me to create? Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, okay, so this is what should show up every time somebody that owes you money that doesn't pay. If they're in here by accident, you can click cancel payment and that gets them off the list. But to accept payment, you click that. And it's fairly straightforward. They're paying for a visit or a number of visits. Let's say they're paying for 20 visits for the time. They're paying you $4,000 for those. And then it says next due date, but it's actually today's date for the number of visits. Interesting. If they pay for the month, cash, check, or charge, how much should they pay for the month, and then the next due date. And if they pay for the year, obviously you do the same thing. And then you would accept payment. And they're off the list. Now if you do any box in the wall or accept any kind of donations, you can put that in there. And you can do that several different, and it just adds up for today.
Okay, well, the way we're gonna do it in my office, for right now, everybody is just flat $20,
Right.
because they're free if they're with a paying parent.
Okay.
So, then when they come up in the payment queue, we just click on visit.
Right, visit. Cash, check, or charge. Visit covered one if they paid per visit, $20 per visit, and then they paid today.
Okay.
Got that? Accept payment. That's if you're doing it here in the encounter.
Oh, that's if they're doing it in the encounter?
Right.
So I would enter that.
You could. I was checking to make that sure that interface it's different. It's supposed to be exactly the same in both places, and it wasn't. I was just checking to see if something else had changed. Good. Okay, so good. And let me add one more in here just to make sure. Yeah, I wanted to get a couple patients in the queue here just to show you how quick it can be. But it'll show you who's there. You just accept payment, visit, check, visit covered 1, amount collected 20, and then today. Then you accept payment.
Sue asked if that payment queue doesn't come up until after the visit, I have to pay it on the way, rather than way in.
Yeah, correct. Unfortunately, the programmer we hired to do that module didn't listen to instructions, and he quit before we could proof it. So the only way that a payment is queued is if there's an encounter. So right now we're very frustrated with that, but it does work. You just have to do it exactly the way that the order happens. The encounter happens, then you record the payment either in the encounter or after the encounter.
So we're gonna have to work with accepting payment after the visit then instead of before, or at least entering it after the
Entering it, yeah. You can accept it any time. It's when you're going to enter it. So I know that when I got busy, I would just stack the checks up in a certain area, or the credit card receipts or whatever. I'd just stack them in a certain area. Then when there was a break, I'd go to that stack and I'd make sure their payments were recorded.
What else we got? Can we generate a mailing list?
Yes. If you go to administration and you go to CS down here, this download client list, you click go, it downloads a spreadsheet basically. Well, it's not basically a spreadsheet, it is a spreadsheet. And it gives you all of this information.
Okay.
Now, you can clean this up with just first name, last name, city, street, you know, the stuff for mailing, and mail merge that. You can also send this directly to Constant Contact or to mail merge, and I believe even to send out cards, and it will, you can send your entire database once a week, and it'll pick up the duplicates and make sure everything's updated to the newest, and it'll also add anything new to the list. It won't duplicate first names or last names that match with the city street. Did that make sense?
Kind of, but I'm not real familiar with Excel. So.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is just a spreadsheet, so it's just a way of seeing things, data in an organized fashion.
Right.
Okay. And then, Susan, are you familiar with the spreadsheets?
Some.
Okay.
I used probably 10 plus years ago.
Okay. Well, it's just a way of organizing things. If you filter the first row, you can do different things with different you do things with different columns here.
Right.
So you can just do all kinds of interesting things. Like I just want to see people that are in California. I want to see everybody sorted by the oldest appointment to the newest appointment. That way I can focus on people that were here in November, December, and January. So it's just a way of manipulating data. Okay? Very intriguing. Once you get the hang of it, it's fairly simple, but it's another skill set to have. But like I said, if you're using MailChimp or if you're using Constant Contact, they automatically do all that for you.
Yeah, I think our website and everything else I think we're trying to use MailChimp. So
good. Yeah, I use MailChimp and I highly recommend it. But yeah, you can take this and go right into MailChimp and upload this file that you downloaded. And it'll say, hey, I found 95 duplicates and 5 new. I added the 5 new.
Okay.
And so it won't double up on your addresses. Okay? So that's how you can download that. Any other questions?
Someone wants a receipt
Okay.
at the end of the visit?
Cash receipt?
Okay.
Yeah. You can go into here, let's say, we did Bill Bowman today, and we can, what is today?
January 25th.
Craziness. You can put in that, and then print that out. Well, I know he paid today, but anyway. Let's see, who else? Who else do we have in today? I know, let's see this. We saw Brown Smith, Bart Brown Smith, there we go. You can download the PDF from here, and then we can just print it out from here. Okay? Was that clear as mud? All right. Is there anything else I can share or show you?
Our report.
Again, that's under admin.
Yeah. So everything we're doing here is under the admin module. Okay. Now I am videoing this. I'm recording this, so I will post this to a private YouTube area and send you a link so you can watch it again if you want to. And then I'll send you the links to the demos for the different modules. And that way, anytime you want to, you can go back and look at them and refresh or find any questions. But do not hesitate to call me or email me or set up another appointment. Happy to do this with you, okay?
All right, thank you, Dwayne.
Well, for receipt.
Hmm?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not putting diagnosis or treatment codes
No,
or
I
anything else.
understand
Right.
that. I saw the word Uber.
Yeah, what is
Well,
Uber?
Uber in German is bigger than super. So instead of a super bill, we do an Uber bill. It's bigger and better. That was the idea behind it. So unfortunately, it still needs some tweaking, but it does its job. It gets the information to the people that want it. And then to fit with what you just said, Wayne, this is what we put at the bottom of every Uber bill.
Okay. Is that automatically going to come up on mine as well?
That's on everyone. Yep.
That's on everyone. Okay. Alrighty.
Are you sure?
I think that's it for today, Dwayne. I appreciate it.
No problem. Again, anytime. I appreciate you guys taking time out to learn a little bit more about what I created. And if there's anything I can do, don't hesitate to schedule a time and or ask questions via email or phone. You got my phone number too.
Alrighty.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.